Welcome back to Spotlight 99 on Shaw TV. I'm Rachel Thom, and I'm sitting here with the lovely Lozen. Good afternoon.
Oh, well, what a nice intro. Bless your heart.
You're sweet. So, in the music community, you often get referred to as Lozen, the rapper, or the female rapper. There's not a lot of them around, or you around. So tell us, I think you're trying to get away from sort of that specific terminology. Tell us more about like who you are as an artist, how to describe your craft more.
I guess I feel that there's a stigma when it comes to the title rapper. And I myself noticed that even me growing up, I was into punk music. Because also it was a place where I could go underage. They put a big X and you'd go to shows and you could go there for the music. And same with the rave communities. It was the same thing like that. And I didn't really connect with the music. From what I saw, what the media was putting out, it didn't resonate with me. It felt contrived and it didn't feel authentic or genuine until I came across like De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest. I was like, oh yeah, like I get that. For me, it is something I do, but I don't want it to define me because I feel that there's more to me than an artist. That's just a component to what I do, and it's something like even my father, when I first put out my music, he didn't understand it, and maybe it's the generation gap there as well, until I was posting my lyrics. And then he said, oh, it's poetry. I said, well, yeah. So I think that is a part of it, but I love singing, I love jazz, I love music, and I think it just depends. When I play my acoustic, that's not my acoustic, by the way, but when I play my acoustic, it brings out something different to me. And even if I play a pick, if I play with a pick, maybe more funky. If I play finger picking, I go more jazz. If I'm playing with a DJ and he's playing a funk vibe, I'll probably like do an old school kind of rap feel. So it just depends what the music brings out of me. I just feel like I'm more to it than that one part.
Well, you've been asked that question before. So you mentioned before how your dad started understanding more when he saw your lyrics posted. Now, when it comes to lyrics, do you find it easy to write songs? Is it often difficult? Do you need a certain type of inspiration? How do you go about sitting down and writing a new tune?
It depends on traditionally how I've done it. If I'm working with the producer, let's use Animal Nation, for example, because they produced my last record in its entirety. Normally is I'll get a producer to send me a beat and I see what it comes out of me. And the best ones I find are the ones that just flow, where it's not there's not a lot of pain in it. When I say pain, I don't mean the emotion of pain. I mean it's not
painstaking process.
Yeah.
Yep.
Though having an idea, I mean, speaking of the women rapper, interestingly enough, I mean, again, that's something where I don't want my gender to be a thing. I am a woman, you know. I don't know if you could tell, but I mean, in terms of music, I don't think my gender should have anything to do with it. I'm an artist, and I just happen to be a woman. Whereas, like having that title before, I don't know why it's there. I mean, I'm not competing in sports. It's not like a woman-man thing.
Right. Different categories.
But in saying that, I do feel that it's important as a woman in an industry that is dominated by men, and you can look at it in any festival when you see, oh, here's the lineup. We're not even taxed on there. I mean, percentage-wise of women that you see, if you're listening to the radio, we're not even taxed on there. And I mean that by percentage-wise, like 15%. And I can't think that if women and men were like half, you know, pretty 50-50. I don't know, in Whistler it's a little bit different. It's probably 10 to 1 for guys. But I mean, I don't think it's because that there's not good artists. It's just that we still have a long way to go. Madonna, when she won that Woman of the Year for Billboard, that was a very powerful speech, and I relate to that for the things that I have to deal with in the industry as being a woman, because when I walk in, you know, it's a lot of the times I don't get looked at as an artist, maybe a little bit lesser. So interestingly enough, I had this song that I just started writing, and it was about all the women that inspired me when I grew up, like Salt and Pepper, Roxanne Shante. She was she started battle rapping and freestyling, and people don't recognize that was a woman that started this when she was 14 years old.
Wow.
And like these little firecrackers, I look at like Lorde when she wrote that song at like 16, like Hello Slayer, like so good. And I feel that it's interesting, it's my responsibility too to kind of elevate the scene, so and pay homage to the artists that have inspired me over the years. So I started writing this track, and right at the same time, maybe it was synergy, I got approached to be a part of a movement called Women of the Underground. And I hadn't really resonated with that many women in the industry on a collaboration front. I actually never collaborated with an artist that was a woman, and I kind of felt like that was weird, like maybe I am a part of the reason. So this track that I'm writing, I've asked two women that I've met through this scene to feature with me. One of them is Benzoza, the other one's Scholastic, and they're both super, super talented. And you know, again, we are women that are artists. I don't want it to define us, but I do think it's important for us to raise each other up.
For sure. Holy. So what should we expect when seeing you live?
Ooh, that's a doozy. Yeah, it's interesting because I had someone, an artist that spoke to me and said it would be hard to be your manager. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, you do so many different things. I mean, I host a radio show 5 days a week. I do farmers market gigs where I'll play my acoustic unplugged. I play with bands. I'm total gypsy heart in terms of I'm a free spirit, so it just depends on the gig. It depends on the venue. I'm part of the Whistler Junglist Collective. Shout outs to DJ Fro, who started that, which is a drum and bass collective, and I host those jams. I've been hosting them for 2 years. We have another night that we do is called Funked Up, and I'm not swearing, it's F-U-N-K, because I love the funk. And I don't want to put a limit on what I do and say, hey, I'm just this, and hey, I'm just that, because life is way too interesting and music is too amazing to only put myself in one category. So I would say it just depends.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, we've got a live performance by Lozen. Let's take a look.
Sick of talk.
Rumors, I don't spread rumors. You know what they say. Rumors, don't believe the rumors. Rumors, I don't spread rumors. You know what they say. Rumors, don't believe the rumors. People talk about my situation, miscommunication, accusation. So we keep on changing the word filtration. It's funny how the telephone ruled the nation. Last search, last one up on that ghost bus. To win cost me so much more than you can know. Trust, wrong place, wrong time. I should've known better. Rumor follow me like a black cloud under pressure. Let me tell you about my confrontation. Swift inauguration, exploitation. Finger pointing, scapegoat, blame, persuasion. Walk in a hot place, left forsaken. To the wolves, I was wrong, preach, take me to church. I held my tongue for everyone and try to tarnish my worth. So let's get down to the nitty gritty brass tacks. I'm here to set the record straight and lay it on wax. Rumors, silence spreading rumors. You know what they say. Rumors, don't believe the rumors. Rumors, silence spreading rumors. You know what they say. Rumors, don't believe the rumors. I wrote this track about my observation, systematization, manipulation, snowball getting bigger association. Now strangers wanna talk about my reputation. Hypocrites, politics, so they sow for peace. Of the power word is born, I ain't a crook or a thief. Come up police on these streets, real talk in the hood. The Go ahead and make assumptions. Act like you know, but ask no questions. I'll send you memes on the book and give you full captions. Birds of a feather flock congregation. Too little, too late. I don't expect to be justified. Honor I keep to the grave and I testify. Past is the past and there's no turning back. So let bygones be bygones and so on I rap. Rumors, I even spreading rumors. You know what they say. Rumors, don't believe the rumors. Rumors, I even spreading rumors. You know what they say. Rumors, don't believe the rumors. Rumors, I even spreading rumors. You know what they say. Rumors, don't believe the rumors. Animal Nation, Lozen, Urban Records, 2017. What's good?